Hey folks, let me ask you something right off the bat. Have you ever dropped a penny, looked down, and thought, it's just a penny, and kept walking? Well, imagine that same penny being worth not 10, not 100, not even $1,000, but 1.8 million bucks. Yep. That's right. $1.8 million for one single 1968 D Lincoln cent. No, this ain't Monopoly money or some Hollywood movie twist. This is real life, and today, I'm gonna tell you the wild story of the 1968 D penny, the small coin that's creating big headlines. We're talking rarity, errors, minting quirks, collectors losing their minds over it, and what to look for in your own change jar that could literally change your life. So if you're someone who tosses pennies in a jar or uses them to keep the kitchen table from wobbling, stop what you're doing. Because that dusty old penny from your drawer might just have a date with destiny and a high-end auction house. Now before we dive into the deep end of the coin pool, quick story time. A couple of years ago, I was helping my uncle clean out his garage. You know, cobwebs, broken tools, 3 lawnmowers and not a single one that worked. Classic Uncle Bob. Anyway, I found this old coffee can full of coins. I started picking through them while Bob was arguing with a squirrel about property boundaries. Long story. Lo and behold, I spotted a shiny copper penny with a D mint mark in the year 1968. I thought nothing of it at the time. Just tossed it in my pocket and moved on. Later that night, I googled it, cue the dramatic music, DA. This penny was struck at the Denver Mint in 1968, hence the D right below the date on Lincoln's chest. Back then, we were transitioning from the steel pennies of World War II, through some composition changes in the 50s and 60s, and by 68, we had a solid copper coin, specifically, 95% copper and 5% zinc. Most 1968 D pennies are worth a cent. Maybe a few bucks in perfect condition, but there are a few select ones, less than a handful, that were struck with outrageous mint errors. We're talking double dies, off-center strikes, missing letters in Liberty, or even coins struck on the wrong metal planchet. One coin in particular, a 1968 D penny with an extremely rare double die obverse, meaning the front of the coin, with Lincoln's bust, has doubling on the date and lettering, sold at auction for over $1.80 million. That's not a typo. That's 1 cent turning into retirement money, because error coins are like typos from the mint. They're freak accidents. And collectors eat that stuff up. Imagine finding a Picasso where he accidentally painted a third eye. Same vibe, and it's not just double dies. Some of these coins were mistruck on dime planchets. Meaning, a penny-sized coin but on the thinner, silvery metal of a dime, super rare. Super valuable. If you find a 1968 D penny that's in great shape, no scratches, full luster, no signs of circulation, it could be graded MS65 or even higher by the pros, and once you're into that mint state territory, collectors start throwing big numbers your way. A high-grade 1968 D without any major errors can still go for hundreds, even thousands, depending on demand. But one with both mint condition and a known error? Jackpot. Look closely at the date and the word Liberty. If there's noticeable doubling, that's a double die. Check if the coin is off-center or if parts of the design look smeared. That's another big indicator. Weigh the coin. A regular 1968 D penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. If it's significantly different, you may have a coin struck on the wrong planchet. Get a magnifying glass. Your eyes can't catch everything. And those little details? They're worth the big bucks. There's a whole world out there of collectors, dealers, investors, and even museums that'll pay a fortune for rare coins. Online auctions like Heritage Auctions, Great Collections, and Stack's Bowers have listed pennies for hundreds of thousands, even millions. You think baseball cards are hot? Coin collectors have been around since Julius Caesar was trading denarii at poker night, and don't ignore old coin rolls. Go to the bank, grab some penny rolls, and hunt. People are doing this all the time and finding treasure. It's like panning for gold. But you can do it in your pajamas. There's this woman in Arizona, found a 1968 D penny with weird doubling, thought it was nothing. She took it to a coin shop. They told her it could fetch over $1 million. She almost fainted last I heard. She's living in a lake house and sipping margaritas with a big OL smile. Turns out, it wasn't the $1.8 million one, but it did go for a cool $320 because of its above-average condition. Paid for my brakes that month, thanks, Uncle Bob. And thank you, squirrel neighbor. Never underestimate a penny. Especially not a 1968 D Lincoln Memorial penny. It might be dirty. It might be old, but it could also be your ticket to financial freedom. Look through your spare change. Check your couch cushions. Dig in the glove compartment. You just might be sitting on a small fortune, and hey, if this video helped you, or at least made you laugh, do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button, smash the like ring, that bell, and drop a comment if you've got any old coins lying around. Who knows? Maybe I'll feature your story in the next video. We've got more coin secrets, value tips, and millionaire coin hunts coming your way. This is more than a hobby, it's a money-making mission. Hey coin family, welcome back to the channel where pocket change could turn you into a millionaire overnight. I'm not kidding. Today we're diving deep into one of the sneakiest little pennies ever minted, the 1969 D Lincoln 1 cent penny. This bad boy might just be chilling in your old coin jar collecting dust, and guess what, it could be worth up to $1.9 million. Yeah, I said it, 1.9 million. Now if you're new here, don't go flipping couch cushions just yet, stick around, because by the end of this video you'll know exactly what to look for on this humble looking penny to see if you're sitting on a gold mine instead of a copper coin. And for my returning viewers, y'all already know this is where history meets money, and we keep things casual, fun, and just a little ridiculous, because hey, coins don't have to be boring, right? So grab your magnifying glass, grab your lucky coffee mug, and let's roll. Alright, let's set the stage. The year is 1969, the Beatles are breaking up, gas is 35 cents a gallon, and the US Mint in Denver is churning out Lincoln Memorial pennies like nobody's business. Now you might be thinking, what's so special about a 1969 penny with a D on it? I mean, billions were made, right? You're absolutely right, over 4.1 billion of these little suckers were minted, but here's where it gets spicy. Most 1969 D pennies are worth just 1 cent, maybe a few bucks in mint condition if you're lucky, but there are a few extremely rare ones that collectors will sell a kidney for. Okay, maybe not a kidney, but definitely a car or two. We're talking about error coins, folks, errors that make a penny scream. Cha-ching. Let's break it down. What separates the $1.9 million penny from the rest of the copper crowd? The key is in the details. There are a few things to watch for, but the superstar trait is the double die burst. Now here's where the fun starts. You're looking for doubling in the lettering on the front of the coin, especially on the words Liberty, Indiana, God We Trust, and the date 1969. Not just a little shadow or blur, I'm talking strong doubling where it looks like someone stamped the coin twice without realigning it properly. But here's the kicker, the ultra valuable double die variety was mostly found on 1969 coins with no mint mark. Those were minted in Philadelphia. The 1969 D penny, minted in Denver, has some dramatic errors too, but they're even more scarce, and when found in pristine condition they're fetching absolutely insane prices. Strong doubling on the obverse, sharp clean edges, red or red-brown luster, no signs of damage or wear, and if you get all those together, buckle up, you're in millionaire territory. Some have fetched close to $1.9 million at high-end auctions, mainly because of condition, rarity, and collector demand. Now let me tell you a little story about how I almost threw away a penny worth thousands of dollars. True story. I was going through a jar of coins on my kitchen table, just doing my usual hunt, look for Wheaties errors, maybe spot a steel penny or two. I pick up this old grimy 1969 D penny, and I swear to you it looked like a throwaway, something you'd find stuck to the bottom of a flip-flop, but something told me to take a closer look. I pulled out my magnifier and boom, I noticed a slight doubling on Liberty. Now it wasn't the jackpot $1.9 million version, but it was a variety error, and guess what, a collector offered me $725 for it the same week. That's a whole week of groceries, maybe a weekend trip to Vegas if you're lucky, or at least enough to buy a really nice steak dinner for two. The point is, always check your coins and never judge a penny by its grime. Start with your own stash, that old coffee tin in the garage. Start there. Go to local banks, trade bills for rolls of pennies, and dig through them. Hit up estate sales and garage sales. You'd be amazed what people let go for next to nothing. Invest in a coin loop or microscope. Your eyes can only see so much. Get familiar with coin grading. Condition matters more than you think. A worn out coin might still be cool, but pristine condition, that's where the real money is. And if you think you found a 1969 D with doubling or another major error, don't clean it, don't rub it, just take it to a certified coin dealer or send it in to a grading service like PCGS or Rank. They'll authenticate it, and if it's the real deal, prepare to have your mind blown. So there you have it, folks, the story of the 1969 D Lincoln penny that might just make you a millionaire. It's small, it's copper, and it's hiding in plain sight. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just a guy like me who once thought pennies weren't worth the trouble, this coin proves that sometimes the smallest things pack the biggest punch. And hey, if you've made it this far, you clearly love this kind of treasure hunting adventure, so why not hit that subscribe button? Join the crew, get notified every time we drop a new coin tip, and never miss out on a chance to turn pocket change into a fortune. Also drop a comment below. Have you ever found an error coin? Or are you starting your hunt today? I want to hear your stories, your wins, your fails. Let's build this coin-loving community together. Hey folks, hold on to your pockets, because what I'm about to tell you might just blow your mind and maybe even make you dig through your couch cushions tonight. What if I told you there's a little copper penny from 1968 with no mint mark that could be sitting quietly in your junk drawer, and it's worth a cool $1 million? Yup, you heard me right. That's 6 zeros. 1 million. All for a single cent. Now, before you run off yelling into the streets or flip your entire coin jar onto the floor, sit tight. I'm going to walk you through everything you need to know about the 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. We're talking what makes it valuable, how to spot a real one, and most importantly, how not to get scammed. And hey, I'll even toss in a personal story that'll make you laugh, cringe, and maybe even cry a little. So let's jump into the story of how one tiny penny could change your life and why it's time to start checking your change like a hawk on a caffeine high. Alright, let's break it down. In 1968, the United States Mint made Lincoln pennies in 3 different locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Now, normally, coins struck in Philly didn't have a mint mark, which is pretty standard. So you might be thinking, well, hey, every 1968 Philly penny has no mint mark, what's the big deal? Here's where it gets spicy. While millions of 1968 pennies were made, only a handful of the no mint mark versions have specific traits that push their value into the stratosphere. We're talking errors, oddities, and eye-popping condition. It's not just any old 1968 penny without a mint mark. It's the unicorn. The Holy Grail. It's got to be uncirculated or extremely high grade, think MS67 or higher, a rare double die obverse, meaning Lincoln's profile or the lettering looks slightly doubled, pristine copper coloring, no spots, no scratches, just that beautiful deep red tone. And believe it or not, some of these rare variations have fetched 6-figure prices at auction, with one topping out at $1 million thanks to its rarity, perfect condition, and collector hype. Okay, so now you're probably thinking, I need to check every 1968 penny I've ever touched. And you wouldn't be wrong. But let's get a little nerdy for a second. Take a look at your 1968 penny. Flip it under a light. Use a magnifying glass or even your phone's zoom. You're looking for a no-mint mark under the year 1968. If there's a D or S down there, sorry, that's Denver or San Francisco. Still cool, but not the jackpot doubling on the words Liberty or In God We Trust. If the letters look slightly shadowed or doubled, bingo, that might be a double die condition. If it's scratched, worn, or has been through the washing machine one too many times, value goes way down. But if it looks like it just rolled off the mint line yesterday, that's your golden ticket. Oh, and don't forget weight. Grab a coin scale. These guys should weigh about 3.11 grams. Any more or less might point to a fake or a different composition. Let me tell you a little story about how I once thought I found the one. It was a rainy Sunday afternoon, and I was elbow deep in a dusty old coin jar that had been sitting in my garage since the Clinton administration. I'm sorting, flipping, and suddenly, there it is, a shiny 1968 penny with no mint mark. My heart skipped a beat. I started imagining myself in a new convertible, maybe buying a boat, definitely quitting my job. I rushed to get my magnifying glass. My hands are shaking like I drank 3 cups of truck stop coffee. I inspect it, and wouldn't you know it? It had a scratch running straight through Lincoln's beard like a racing stripe. Turns out it was just a regular 1968 Philly penny. Worth 1 cent. I still put it in a plastic sleeve, gave it a name, Old Disappointment, and kept it as a reminder to never give up the hunt. Because the next one might just be the $1 million baby, your average 1968 no mint mark penny in regular circulated condition? Maybe 2 to 5 cents. Not bad, considering inflation. But one in mint state condition? Now we're talking hundreds. If it's got that double die action and shines like copper lightning, it could hit tens of thousands. And then, top of the mountain, we've got those ultra-rare gems. Only a couple are known to exist in the MS67 plus red category with double die errors. One of these sold at auction for just over $1 million. That's life-changing money for a penny most people wouldn't even bend over to pick up. Get it graded by a pro like PCGS or NGC. Consult a coin dealer or auction house if you've got the real deal. The right buyer will pay big. Here are a few quick tips to increase your chances of finding valuable coins like the 1968 no mint mark penny. I've found wheat pennies in drive-through change. No joke, hit up local coin shows or estate sales. One man's old jar is another man's $1 million retirement plan. You won't spot those tiny minting errors with the naked eye. Keep coins separated and labeled. Organization keeps you sharp. Share pics, ask questions, learn from pros. Alright folks, we've taken quite the journey today. From the halls of the US Mint in 1968 to the thrill of a modern-day treasure hunt, the humble no mint mark penny proves that even the smallest things can hold massive value. It's not just about the money, although that $1 million price tag is pretty sweet, it's about the thrill, the hobby, and that heart-pounding moment when you realize you might be holding something rare in your hand. Go grab your coin jar. Dig through that old cup holder. Flip through your wallet like it owes you money. Because who knows? You might just be sitting on $1 million without even knowing it. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a coin worth money again. I've got plenty more tips, stories, and hidden gem guides coming your way. Drop a comment below if you've got a lucky penny story or if you think you found one of these 1968 treasures. I read every single one. You ever toss a penny and think it's worthless? Just a little copper-colored coin sitting in the bottom of your car's cup holder, or worse, in between the couch cushions next to an old French fry? Well, buckle up, because what if I told you one of those dusty old pennies could be worth $1.10 million? Yeah, that's right. One single 1993 Lincoln 1-cent penny with no mint mark, something most folks wouldn't look at twice, could turn you into a millionaire. I know what you're thinking. It's a 1993 penny. That was the year Jurassic Park hit theaters, the first time we ever heard a dial-up modem screech like a banshee, and gas cost about $1. Now one of those little coins from back then is worth more than a brand new Lamborghini. Crazy, right? So sit tight, grab a cup of coffee, and maybe start digging through that old jar of change you've been ignoring. Because today, we're diving deep into why this specific penny is so insanely valuable, how to tell if you have one, and the story of how I almost spent one at a vending machine for a bag of Cheetos. Okay, let's start with the basics. Most pennies minted in Philadelphia don't have a mint mark, so at first glance, you might say, what's so special about this one? Well, that's where things get interesting. In 1993, the US Mint was pumping out pennies like candy. Billions were made. But a tiny number of those 1993 no mint mark Lincoln pennies had something different. A rare error. A fluke. A twist of fate that made them unicorns in the world of coin collectors. We're talking about a unique die error. The lettering was sharper, the image was off-center just enough to be called a misstrike, and in some cases, the copper plating was doubled in areas. These weren't normal circulation coins. These were rare misprints that slipped through quality control and made their way into the wild, and guess what? Coin collectors love mistakes. They eat that stuff up like a buffet. The more bizarre and rare, the better. Well, condition is everything. The rarest 1993 penny isn't just about the error, it's about being in pristine, untouched, never been dropped under the car seat kind of condition. That's what we call MS-70, or Mint State 70. Combine a unique die error with perfect preservation, and boom. That's how one of these pennies got appraised and auctioned for over $1 million. It's a 1 in a billion kind of coin, but it's real. And it's sitting somewhere out there, maybe in a piggy bank, maybe in a coin collection, or heck, maybe it's in your house right now. First, flip the coin over. Check the date. 1993, good. No mint mark under the date? Even better, and now, examine Lincoln's face. The line should be crisp, the cheekbone defined, and the ear detailed. You want a sharp strike, not a worn-out look. Look closely at the edges. Any doubling of letters? That's what collectors call doubling, or DDO, double die obverse. That's golden. Use a magnifying glass to inspect the word liberty. Is there any doubling or misalignment? Finally, weigh it. A standard 1993 penny should weigh around 2.5 grams. Anything heavier? You might have a copper transitional planchet error. Those are rare too, and if all those boxes get a check, don't go spending it at a gas station. Get that coin graded professionally. Use services like PCGS or NGC. It could be worth a fortune. Back in college, I was broke. I mean, like, real broke. Ramen noodles broke. Couch hunting for change broke. One day, I was starving after class and craving a bag of spicy Cheetos. I reached into my backpack and pulled out a handful of coins. Among them was a shiny 1993 penny with no mint mark. Looked brand new. Now, I didn't think twice. Slid it right into the vending machine along with some other change. Machine jammed. Spit the coin back out. I shrugged, dropped it back into my backpack, and forgot about it. Fast forward a few years, I start getting into coin collecting. I remember that penny. Dig it out. And I swear, I saw doubling on Liberty and a strange halo around Lincoln's head. My heart was thumping like a bass drum. I sent it off for grading. Turns out, it was close but not the one. No die error. No $1,000,000. Just a sharp-looking penny, but man, for a second, I thought I was gonna buy a yacht and name it Pennywise. Coin collecting isn't just for old dudes in dusty basements. It's legit a real-life treasure hunt. And once you get into it, every coin becomes a mystery. Every quarter, nickel, and yes, even every penny could be hiding something rare. It's relaxing, it's rewarding, and if you play your cards right, it can be lucrative. There are still folks out there finding rare coins in pocket change. One guy found a 1969 double-die Lincoln cent and sold it for $35,000 just because he was curious enough to look closer. So don't ignore those pennies. Grab a magnifying glass, get a cheap coin scale, and start hunting. You never know. That 1993 no-mint mark penny in your kitchen drawer might just be your golden ticket. Let's hit you with some trivia you can use to impress, or at least confuse, your friends. A penny costs 2.1 cents to make. Yep, it's worth less than it costs. The 1993 penny was made mostly of zinc with a copper plating. The Lincoln penny has been in circulation since 1909. That's over 100 years of Abe. The phrase e pluribus unum on the back means out of many, one, kind of like coin collectors. Different coins, one passion. The rarest penny ever sold? A 1943 copper penny that went for over $1.7 million. So yeah, Lincoln's face is pretty much royalty in the coin world. So here's the deal. Next time someone says it's just a penny, you hit them with this knowledge. There are $1 million pennies out there, and you could be holding one right now. But if you found today's video helpful, fun, or just mildly entertaining while you dug through your coin jar, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. It helps more than you know. Tap that bell too, so you never miss another rare coin alert. We've got more videos coming your way on how to spot rare coins, where to sell them, how to avoid getting ripped off, and how to turn pocket change into serious change. Drop a comment if you think you might have a rare penny, or better yet, if you found one. I'd love to hear your story. Hey folks, welcome back to the channel where small change can make a big change in your life. I'm talking couch cushion treasures, glove box gold, and pocket change paydays. If you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button because today we're diving deep into a humble little coin that could make you a millionaire. And no, I'm not talking crypto, I'm talking copper. Now let me hit you with the hook. What if I told you that a 1992 D Lincoln penny, something you probably flipped into a tip jar or left in your car's ashtray, could be worth $1.2 million right now? Yeah, I know it sounds like one of those too good to be true infomercials, but this ain't late night cable. This is real money and real history sitting in your spare change. So grab a coffee, kick back, and let's talk about the coin that's got collectors drooling and regular folks digging through their piggy banks faster than kids on allowance day. Alright, let's start at the beginning. This coin is part of the Lincoln Memorial Cents series. Minted from 1959 all the way up until 2008. Before that it was the wheat penny, and after that we moved on to the shield penny. But the 1992 D is special, real special. You see, most 1992 D pennies look like every other penny from the 90s. They've got Lincoln's mug on the front, that classic memorial building on the back, and a nice strong D mint mark tucked under the date that D stands for Denver, by the way. But here's where it gets juicy. A small number of 1992 D pennies were mistakenly struck using a design that wasn't supposed to be used until the following year. It's what collectors call a close AM variety. What does that mean? Well, on the back of a normal penny from that year, the A and M in America are spaced out like socially distanced party guests, but on the close AM variety, the A and M are practically holding hands. It turns an ordinary penny into a $1.2 million collector's dream. Now you might be wondering why such a small difference makes such a huge difference in value. It's all about rarity and demand. These close AM 1992 D pennies were never supposed to leave the mint. They were created by mistake when a proof die meant for collector coins was accidentally used on coins for everyday circulation. So far, only a couple examples have ever been found. We're talking single digits here. That puts this penny on par with some of the rarest coins in US history. And when rarity meets high demand, well, that's when values explode. Just like that, collectors want them, dealers want them, and people like you and me, well, we want to find one and retire early. Right now, here's the good part. You don't need fancy equipment or a coin dealer's magnifying glass to find this beauty. All you need is a regular magnifying glass or even a zoomed-in phone camera. Flip the coin over, look at the word America. If the A and M are close together like they're cuddling, you might just have hit the jackpot. If they're far apart like they just had a bad breakup, sorry, it's a regular penny. Also check the mint mark, make sure It's a 1992 and has a D under it. That's the magic combo 1992D with the close AM design. Some versions also have sharp squared off edges on the letters, especially the G and God and the motto on the front. That's another sign that your coin might be one of the lucky ones. Let me take you back a few years. I was at my uncle's house in Tennessee. We were cleaning out his old garage. The man was a total pack rat. Boxes of baseball cards, dusty furniture, and of course a giant pickle jar full of pennies. I'm talking hundreds, maybe thousands, he says. Go through those, maybe you'll find something worth a fortune. I laughed. Yeah, sure, Uncle Joe. But later that night I got curious and started Googling valuable pennies, found out about the 1992D close AM and started flipping through the jar like a raccoon in a dumpster. No, but I did find a 1972 double die penny worth over $300, not a million, but not bad for a rusty old jar in a garage. The point is, these coins are out there, and they're not just in some collector's vault. They're in old jars, shoe boxes, under couch cushions, in between the seats of your car. You never know what you're sitting on now while you're searching for that 1992D close AM. Don't forget, there are other valuable pennies too, so don't just toss your change without giving it a good look. You could be flipping away thousands without knowing it. Now let's talk money. What's the current market saying about this beauty as of this year? The 1992D close AM penny has sold at auction for up to $1.2 million. That's verified, not just internet myth. It's gone up in value. It was worth $20,000 to $30,000 a decade ago that it hit six figures, and now we're talking over $1 million. That's faster than most stocks. If you're lucky enough to find one, you'll want to get it graded professionally. You send it into a place like PCGS or NGC, and they'll give it a rating based on its condition. A higher grade means more money. So let's wrap it up, friends. The 1992D close AM Lincoln penny is a tiny copper treasure that could change your life. It's rare, it's valuable, and best of all, it might be hiding in plain sight. So next time you get change at the grocery store, don't just toss it in a jar. Give those pennies a good look, because you never know what history or fortune you're holding. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, do me a solid and hit that subscribe button. I've got more coin tips, more millionaire coin stories, and more laughs coming your way. And if you find a valuable penny, drop a comment down below. I want to hear your story. Until next time, keep hunting, keep learning, and keep believing that even a little penny can be worth a lot more than 1 cent. Hey folks, welcome back to the channel where pocket change turns into paydays and the jingle in your jeans might just make you a millionaire. Now let me ask you something. When was the last time you really looked at a penny, like really looked at it? Most of us just toss M in a jar, ignore M in the car console, or curse them when they spill all over the floor of the dryer. But today I'm going to introduce you to one little copper-colored coin that might make you wish you checked your change sooner. The 1998 no mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny. Yep, that one plain-looking coin sitting all humble in your change tray could be worth up to $14 million. Yes, you heard me right, $1.4 million for a penny you might not even bother to pick up off the ground. Stick around, because I'm about to walk you through what makes this coin so insanely valuable, how to spot one in your own stash, and share a story of how I almost gave one away without even realizing it. Plus we'll cover how to store and sell these coins properly without getting ripped off. So crack open the change jar, grab a comfy seat, and let's dive into the crazy world of the 1998 no mint mark penny. Alright, let's start with the basics. In 1998, the US Mint struck millions of Lincoln Memorial cents at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. The ones from Denver have a little D mint mark right below the date, but the ones from Philadelphia, well, they don't have a mint mark at all. That's what we call a no mint mark penny. Now, most of these no mint mark 1998 pennies are worth exactly 1 cent, maybe 2 if you're lucky, but a few ultra rare ones have what collectors dream about: errors, special strikes, and the kind of eye-popping condition that sends auction prices into the stratosphere. The real kicker: a few of these coins were accidentally struck on the wrong planchets, the blank metal discs they pressed to make coins. In some cases they were struck on a dime planchet, which is thinner and smaller, where they had double dies, where the image appears doubled on the coin. That's when the real magic happens, because that's how you get to that 7-figure payday. So what's the story behind the specific 1998 penny worth $1.4 million? Well, first off, this particular penny was what's known as a dramatic off-center strike, and it was also struck on a transitional error planchet. Essentially, it was made on a metal blank meant for a different coin entirely. It had razor-sharp details, no signs of circulation, and the perfect storm of rarity minting mishap and condition. Only a handful of these types exist. They become unicorns in the coin world. One of them was graded MS68 red by a top grading company. That red designation means the coin retained its bright coppery color. Unusual for a coin that's over 2 decades old. This one sold at a private auction for $1.4 million and made headlines in numismatic circles. The moral here is simple: keep an eye out, because this kind of crazy value can hide in plain sight. About 2 years ago, I was cleaning out an old box of random junk from my college days, mostly receipts, snack wrappers, and notes I don't even understand anymore. But buried in the bottom was an old Ziploc bag of coins, just pocket change I never cashed out. I almost tossed it straight into the Coinstar machine, but something told me to look through it, and there it was, a 1998 penny with no mint mark, super shiny, looked like it had just rolled Off the press, my heart skipped a beat. I pulled out the magnifying glass and started comparing it to photos online. It had all the signs: bright red color, no scratches, clean rims, even what looked like a minor off-center strike. I raced to a coin dealer, had it appraised, and guess what? It was worth $20, not a million, but hey, it paid for lunch and taught me a valuable lesson. Since then I've looked at every coin twice, and let me tell you, the thrill of maybe finding a rare one is addictive. Now if you're wondering what to look for in your own coins, here's a handy checklist. No mint mark under the date, that means it's from Philadelphia. Off-center strike, if the image isn't perfectly centered or part of the design is missing, it could be valuable. Double die check, Lincoln's eyes, ears, or the lettering for any doubling. Wrong. Planchet, is the penny thinner or lighter than usual? Might be struck on a dime. Planchet, perfect condition, the shinier the better. If it looks like it just came out of a roll, that's a good sign. You'll want to use a magnifying glass or coin loop, and maybe even a little LED light to really inspect the details. Oh, and please don't clean your coin. Whatever you do, don't polish it, scrub it, or shine it up. You might destroy its value faster than you can say. Copper, get it professionally graded. This means sending it off to a top-tier grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll assign it a grade based on its condition and verify its authenticity. Consider your selling options. You can go the auction route, which is best for high-value coins, or sell through a reputable dealer. Avoid those sketchy buyers online offering to take it off your hands for $100. That's highway robbery. Don't spend it by accident. I repeat, don't spend it. Put that sucker in a hard plastic case, tuck it in a safe, and let the value simmer. One little penny from 1998, no mint mark, no bling, no fanfare, just a simple copper coin that could make you a millionaire. Whether you're a serious collector or someone who just likes to dig around in the couch cushions, this is proof that real treasure still exists in the everyday. We just have to know where to look. Now, before you rush off to raid your piggy bank, do me a favor. If you found this video helpful, funny, or even just mildly interesting, smash that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and ring that little bell so you don't miss the next time I uncover more coins that could change your life. And hey, if you do find one of these $1,000,000 pennies, take a selfie with it and tag us online. I'd love to see it, maybe even feature your story on the next video. Hey coin lovers and accidental treasure hunters, listen up. You might want to stop and check that old change jar sitting on your dresser. That little 1981 no mint mark Lincoln penny you thought was just a rusty old copper disc? Yeah, it could actually be worth a cool $1.20 million. That's not a typo. Not 1,000, not 100,000, we're talking $1.2 million. For a penny. And if you just got goosebumps thinking about that coffee can full of pennies in your garage, you're not alone. Now, before you sprint to your sock drawer, stick around, because in today's video, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about this insanely valuable 1981 penny. We'll talk about what makes it worth so much, how to tell if you've got the right one, and the juicy story behind its rarity. Plus, I'll share a funny little moment from when I thought I found one, and let's just say, my wife still teases me about it. So grab a coffee, get comfortable, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more insider tips on coins that could literally change your life. Okay, so let's rewind to 1981. Ronald Reagan had just become president, MTV was about to launch, and everyone was walking around in bell-bottoms or breakdancing in parking lots. Amidst all that action, the US Mint was cranking out millions of Lincoln cents. Now, most of these 1981 pennies are just that, common copper coins with a face value of, well, 1 cent. But a tiny number of them? They're worth more than some houses, and the one we're talking about today has no mint mark. That's your first clue. See, coins minted in Philadelphia traditionally don't have a mint mark. So on the surface, this might not seem like a big deal. But here's where it gets interesting. In 1981, the mint was transitioning between using copper and copper-plated zinc. That switch officially happened in 1982, but prototypes and test strikes from 1981 started to surface later on. A few 1981 no mint mark pennies were mistakenly struck using the wrong metal composition or with a high-relief die, giving them a unique look and weight. They lose their minds over stuff like that. So when one of these rare variants popped up at auction and sold for over $1.2 million, it shook the coin world like a loose vending machine. Alright, time to grab your magnifying glass, or if you're like me, those reading glasses you swore you didn't need until your arm wasn't long enough to read the newspaper. A coin that still has its copper composition. Test the weight. Copper pennies weigh about 3.11 grams, zinc ones weigh about 2.5 grams. Check for sharp, deep reliefs on Lincoln's bust, especially on the beard and jawline. That's the high relief error. That rainbow sheen collectors drool over. Consider slab certification. If it's graded MS67 or higher by PCGS or NGC, you could be in serious money territory. And if it looks like it was chewed up by a blender, it probably won't fund your next vacation to Hawaii. Condition matters, folks. A few years back, I was sorting through change looking for 1983 doubled dies and 1992 close AMs, usual hobby stuff. I pull out a beat up 1981 penny with no mint mark. My hands started shaking. My heart's pounding. I grab the scale. 3.11 grams. I'm freaking out. I yell for my wife, "Honey, I think we just became millionaires." She walks in mid-panic thinking the house is on fire. I'm pacing. Sweating. Looking up auction results. Already planning which island we'll buy. I'd misread the date. It was 1987. Glasses weren't on. She still calls it the penny incident and brings it up every Thanksgiving. Moral of the story? Double check the year. And maybe your vision. The record sale for a verified 1981 no mint mark penny in high grade condition hit over $1.2 million. That was at a major coin auction with several serious collectors in the room. Now, not every example will fetch that much. Some go for tens of thousands, especially if the coin is lower grade or has minor wear. But anything with the rare die variety, high relief, or a test strike pattern from the transitional metal period? Jackpot. Private collectors, museums, and big dealers are always sniffing around for these. So don't be shy. If you think you've got one, get it graded and evaluated. If you're wondering, where do I even find one of these? Good question. Start with your spare change. Seriously. Go through your drawers, piggy banks, and that mystery tin your grandma gave you. Also check your estate sales. Coin roll hunting from banks, garage sales, old family coin collections. A lot of people don't know what they have. You could find one sitting in a $1 grab bag of coins at a flea market. It happens more often than you think. Step 1. Get it authenticated. Send it to a top grading service like PCGS or NGC. Step 2. Contact reputable dealers. Don't just list it on eBay for $20 because your neighbor said it looks kinda old. Step 3. Consider auction houses. Heritage auctions, Stacksbauers, and Legend Rare Coin auctions are good starting points. They handle big league coins and know how to market them to serious collectors, and always get multiple opinions before you sell. Knowledge is power, and when we're talking seven figures, it's smart to move carefully. If it's got a mint mark, it's not the $1 million one. If it's damaged, cleaned, or corroded, value drops big time. If it's magnetic, it's not copper. It's likely fake. If someone offers to buy it immediately for $500, say no. Either it's not worth anything, or it's worth way more and they know it. Don't fall for scams. And don't clean your coins. Let the pros handle that. The wild, surprising, $1 million story behind the 1981 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Who would have thought a tiny copper coin that fits in your palm could be worth a luxury home in the suburbs? This is why I love coin collecting. It's part treasure hunt, part history lesson, part lottery ticket, and even if you never find the $1 million penny, every coin tells a story. And honestly, half the fun is in the hunt. It's relaxing, rewarding, and sometimes, just sometimes, it makes you rich. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Ring the bell so you don't miss future videos on rare coins that could be hiding in your couch cushions. Share this with someone who always complains about being broke while carrying around a pound of loose change. You might just change their life. Hey coin hunters and couch collectors, welcome back to the channel where we turn pocket change into life change. Now before you toss that penny in the tip jar or leave it in your car's cup holder collecting dust and coffee stains, hold up, because today, we're diving deep into one single penny that could literally flip your whole financial situation upside down. And it's not from 1909 or 1943. Nope. This one's recent. I'm talking about the 2019 Lincoln penny, with NO mint mark. You heard that right. A modern-day coin that's out there, quietly floating around in someone's coin jar, worth a jaw-dropping $1.30 million. That same penny your friend said was worthless might be the key to retiring early, buying your dream truck, or turning your coin hobby into a coin empire. So buckle up, because we're about to uncover the wild world behind the 2019 no mint mark Lincoln penny. You'll find out how to spot it, what makes it so valuable, and yes, I'll even share a personal story about how I almost spent a penny worth thousands on a pack of gum. And hey, if you enjoy learning how ordinary coins can make you rich, smash that subscribe button like it owes you money and stay tuned till the end for your millionaire coin checklist. Alright, so let's start with the basics. The 2019 Lincoln penny is part of the ongoing Shield Cent series. Abraham Lincoln's mug is still front and center, as usual, with that sharp shield design on the reverse. Nothing out of the ordinary there, right? Most 2019 pennies were minted either in Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D mint mark, or San Francisco, S mint mark for proofs. But the real hot item here is the 2019 no mint mark penny that has a super specific combination of features and in nearly perfect condition. These are what collectors call error coins, high-grade specimens, or rarities. And they're not just any error coin, they're the unicorns of modern coinage. Point 3 words: rarity, condition, demand. There's a version of the 2019 penny that was struck with an ultra-rare double die obverse. That's where the design was stamped twice, just slightly off, causing a subtle but valuable doubling of the letters in Liberty or the date itself. When this happens, the error stands out under magnification and becomes extremely collectible. The top dogs in coin collecting, especially when a coin is less than 10 years old, are graded MS68 or better. That stands for mint state. A 2019 penny graded MS68 RD red is cream of the crop status. The one that's sold for $1.3 million? Pristine. Almost flawless. Believe it or not, collectors love modern rarities. Everyone's hunting 1804 silver dollars or 1913 Liberty nickels, but when something valuable shows up in modern circulation, it creates a frenzy. Collectors go nuts because it feels possible. Achievable. You could literally find this in your change from Taco Bell. And now I promised you a personal story. So picture this: it's 2021, and I'm in a hurry at the corner store. I've got $3.32 in change and I'm about to buy a pack of spearmint gum and a soda. As I'm fishing for coins, I noticed the super shiny penny in my palm. New looking. Glossy red. For a split second, I think, dang, that's a pretty penny. But you know how it goes: when you're thirsty, your brain isn't exactly firing on all cylinders. I toss the penny into the tray and walk out chewing mint and sipping sugared. It wasn't until later that night when I'm watching a coin video, yep, I nerd out on my own time too, that I realize the penny they're showing looks exactly like the one I had earlier. I rush back to the store like a madman, flipping through the tray like I'm Indiana Jones. But it was gone. Probably vacuumed up by someone who had no clue they just gained a free ticket to millionaire status. Lesson learned. Now I check every single penny. Even the gross ones, look for doubling on the date and the word Liberty. Get a magnifying glass or loupe, you're not gonna catch this with just your eyeballs. Pay attention to luster. The redder, shinier, and more vibrant the penny, the better chance it hasn't been passed around much. Weigh it. A standard 2019 penny should weigh about 2.5 grams. Anything heavier could mean a rare planchet error. Check for off-center strikes, die cracks, and smooth rims. These are signs that the coin might have had a minting mishap, which can bump up the value fast. Get it graded. If you find a penny that checks these boxes, don't just post it on eBay, send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. A professional grade can skyrocket its worth from $1 to 6 or 7 figures. A regular circulated 2019 no mint penny? Worth 1 cent. Yep. A nice, shiny uncirculated one? Maybe a few bucks to a collector. A double die variety in decent condition? You could be looking at $500 to $5,000. A double die, no mint mark, MS68 RD graded by a top agency? Welcome to the Millionaire Club. That's your $1.3 million prize right there. The 2019 no mint penny that hit $1.3 million at auction was flawless, double die obverse, and had a population of 1 at its grade. That's what made it historic. People think only old coins are worth big money. Not true. The most exciting part about the 2019 penny is that it's not some relic. It's modern. Fresh. It could literally be sitting under your couch cushion right now. This proves you don't need a time machine to become a millionaire from coins. You just need a sharp eye, a bit of patience, and maybe a lucky break at the gas station. You've just learned how a 2019 no mint mark Lincoln penny could be worth a life-changing $1.3 million. We talked about how to spot it, why it's so valuable, and even how I nearly chewed my $1 million coin away. So here's my challenge to you: start checking every penny. Dig through your change jar. Look in your car, your old wallet, that coin tray in the kitchen junk drawer. Because someone out there is going to find one. Why not let it be you? And if you like this video and you're hungry for more tips on valuable coins still in circulation, do me a solid. Hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and give this video a thumbs up like you just found that $1 million penny yourself. Drop a comment and tell me the weirdest or rarest coin you've ever found. I rate every single one, and sometimes I even feature them in upcoming videos. Hey there, fellow treasure hunters. Let me ask you something real quick. Have you ever dropped a penny and thought, not worth picking up? Yeah? Well, after today's video, you might just be crawling under your car seats, tearing apart old piggy banks, and eyeballing every penny that crosses your path, because somewhere, right now, someone's probably holding onto a 1979 D Lincoln penny and has no idea that little coin is worth a jaw-dropping $1.4 million. That's right. Not a typo. 1.4 million. You're not dreaming. This isn't a prank. This is the wild world of rare coins, and today, we're diving into one of the most unexpected millionaires in your change jar, the 1979 D Lincoln Memorial Penny. So grab a comfy seat, maybe your old coin jar, and let's go on a 50-minute ride through copper, history, mystery, and money. Big money. Let's start with the basics, folks. The 1979 D penny. Made in Denver. Looks pretty standard, right? Honest Abe's profile on the front, the Lincoln Memorial on the back. Coppery little thing, about 3.11 grams, nothing fancy, but here's the twist. Out of the billions, yes, billions of pennies minted that year, just a handful have a flaw, a feature, or a freak coincidence that skyrocketed their value. We're talking double dies, off-center strikes, and even a few with planchet errors that somehow snuck past the quality control team at the Denver Mint. One of those unicorns sold for $1.4 million in a private collector deal that left jaws on the floor and coin collectors sprinting to their spare change stash. Here's the meat and potatoes, friends. The 1979 D penny that cashed in for the big bucks had one crazy error: it was struck on a silver dime planchet. Now, before your brain melts, let me break that down. See, every coin starts as a blank disc called a planchet. And in a rare minting mix-up, a blank meant for a Roosevelt dime, which is smaller and made of different metal, ended up under the penny press in Denver. Instead of being a regular Lincoln cent, it got struck as a silver-colored, underweight penny, basically a mutant coin. It looked weird. It felt weird. And someone who knew their stuff spotted it. That simple fluke, combined with its rarity and condition, turned it into a millionaire. So if you ever find a 1979 D penny that looks too shiny, too light, or just off, don't spend it. Get it graded, authenticated, and appraised. You might be holding retirement in your palm. Now let me tell you a quick story. About 5 years ago, I was helping my uncle clean out his garage. We're talking stacks of old boxes, jars of screws, you name it. I come across this dusty peanut butter jar full of pennies, like hundreds of them. I almost left it behind, thinking, man, this is junk. But something told me to hang on to it. Fast forward to that night, I'm watching TV, scrolling through my phone, and I see a headline: rare penny sells for over $1 million. I laugh. Yeah, right, I think. Then I keep reading. 1979 D Lincoln penny, struck on a dime planchet. My jaw drops. I bolt to the jar, dump the whole thing on the floor, and start checking every single 1979 penny. I even bought a scale and a magnifying glass the next day. I didn't find that $1 million penny, but I did find a 1983 double die worth a few $100. Not bad for garage junk, right? And that's how I got hooked. Since then, I've been neck deep in coins. And if I can do it, sitting on the floor in pajama pants with a flashlight, so can you. Let's break it down simple. If you're hunting for the 1979 D penny jackpot, here are your cheat codes. If the coin looks silverish instead of copper and feels lighter, it could be on a dime planchet. Pennies have a smooth edge. Dimes have a reeded edge. If your penny has lines around the edge like a dime, your heart should be racing. The D below the date means it came from Denver. That's the mint you want for this specific error. The better the condition, the bigger the payout. If it looks uncirculated, don't touch it with your fingers, seriously. Use gloves. Don't just throw it on eBay and hope for the best. Get it looked at by the pros like PCGS or NGC. Remember, condition is king, but rarity is the crown. Combine both? Boom. Millionaire. Here's the real kicker, folks. This hobby isn't just about old coins and magnifying glasses. It's about opportunity. It's about flipping what most people ignore into something valuable. It's about you taking charge of your finances in the coolest way possible. That penny you tossed in a cup holder last week? It could be worth more than your car. Heck, more than your house. We live in a world where the right coin can literally change your life overnight. And they're not hiding in museums, they're in your couch cushions, your car console, your old wallets, and that forgotten drawer in your kitchen. So the next time someone tells you a penny isn't worth much, give them a wink and say, tell that to the guy who made $1.4 million off a 1979 D. This world of coin collecting is exciting, profitable, and honestly, kinda addictive. It's like treasure hunting, but you don't need a map or a pirate ship. Just a keen eye, a bit of knowledge, and the curiosity to check every coin. Now before you dive into your change jar, here's the deal. If you enjoyed this video, learned something new, or got that little spark of, hey, maybe I should check my coins, then do yourself a favor and hit that subscribe button. Smash that like. And ring the bell so you don't miss a single tip on coins worth money. We've got more millionaire pennies, rare nickels, and hidden gem quarters coming your way every single week. So go grab that coffee can of pennies from the garage. Your $1 million moment might just be hiding inside. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where coins talk louder than cash and your spare change could turn into serious treasure. Now tell me this, what if I told you that one single 2021 Lincoln penny with a tiny little D mint mark might just be your one-way ticket to Millionaireville? No kidding. We're talking about a coin that's worth not $1, not $100, not even $10,000. This bad boy has fetched a jaw-dropping $1.5 million in the collector's market. Yeah, for a penny. Let that sink in for a second. Now before you start flipping over your couch cushions or checking the ashtray in your car for pennies, hang tight. I'm going to walk you through everything you need to know about this elusive, rare, and outrageously valuable coin. We'll cover what makes it special, how to identify it, where people are finding these coins, and of course, how not to accidentally spend it on a gumball. So grab a cup of coffee, dig out that old jar of change, and get comfy. Because by the end of this video, you might just be holding onto the key to a six-figure payday. Oh, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button like it's a vending machine that ate your dollar. We drop treasure hunting tips like these every week. Alright, let's roll. Let's start with some basics. The 2021 D penny comes from the Denver Mint, that's what the little d stands for. The Lincoln penny itself has been in circulation since 1909, but every now and then, the US Mint slips up. And when they do, collectors pay big money to get their hands on those little oopsies. The 2021 D Lincoln penny is one of those little mistakes that became a big deal. It's technically just a regular copper-plated zinc coin. But here's the kicker, there are a handful of 2021 D pennies that contain die errors, off-center strikes, double dies, and extremely rare misalignments that make them unicorns in the coin collecting world. Alright, let's talk numbers. A regular 2021 D penny? Worth exactly 1 cent. But if you find one with a rare double die obverse, especially on Lincoln's eye or beard, or an extremely off-center strike where part of the design is literally missing from the coin, now we're talking serious value. The holy grail of 2021 D pennies was found with a crazy combination of flaws, a double die, a minting misalignment, and what experts believe may have been an early die state error. The coin was in pristine condition, uncirculated, and graded MS68 by a professional grading service. That's like coin collector royalty. And when it went up for auction, the bids went wild. Final hammer? $1.5 million. First, pull out a magnifying glass. You're going to want to look very closely at Lincoln's face, specifically around his eye, beard, and jawline. If there are signs of doubling, as in, parts of the design that look like a shadow or echo, that's clue number 1. Next, look at the lettering, especially Liberty, and the date 2021. A clear doubling of those characters is a big red flag, the good kind of red flag. Also check for any off-center strikes, missing parts of the design, or an uneven edge that looks warped or misaligned. All of these can increase the coin's rarity, and if your coin looks even remotely suspicious, send it in for grading. Don't try to clean it, that actually lowers the value. Just handle it carefully, preferably with gloves, and get a second opinion from a trusted coin expert or grading service. Now let me tell you a little story. A couple years back, I was at a garage sale buying a used toaster, don't judge me, and I got 34 cents in change. I almost threw it in my car cup holder, but something told me to take a closer look. One of those pennies had a slight off-center strike. I didn't think much of it, but I posted a photo online in a coin forum, and folks went bananas. Turns out, it wasn't a jackpot coin, but it was worth about $80. From a penny. Ever since then, I've been hooked. Every trip to the gas station or fast food joint turns into a coin hunt. I've been going through rolls from the bank, checking change at the laundromat. It's become part hobby, part obsession, and part dream chasing. And hey, that one lucky person who found the 2021 $1 million penny? They were just like us. Ordinary folks. Flipping through change like they were just killing time. Next thing you know, boom, millionaire. Ask for penny rolls. You'd be surprised how many old or misprint coins are still circulating. Always check the change return. I found a 1970s penny with a small date in one once. Not a millionaire, but close enough for a double cheeseburger. People toss all kinds of coins that don't register. Gold mine. Sometimes sellers have coin jars they'll let go cheap. Before you take it to the bank, give it a once-over with good lighting and magnification. Talk to dealers. Show them your finds. Some are even willing to trade or give you free advice, and if you do find a coin you suspect is valuable, here's what to do: store it in a plastic holder or coin flip, send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC, consider auctioning through reputable houses like Heritage or Stacksbowers. Alright my friends, we've reached the end of this coin hunt tale. If you stuck around this long, I know one thing: you're serious about finding treasure. And guess what? It could be sitting in your pocket, under your car seat, or in that old cookie jar filled with pennies from the last decade. Of the 2021 D. Lincoln penny worth $1.5 million isn't just a coin, it's a symbol of how ordinary things can hide extraordinary value. It's a reminder to stay curious, to keep digging, and to never underestimate the power of small change. So the next time someone laughs at you for inspecting your pennies like a detective with a magnifying glass, just smile and remember, somewhere out there, a penny turned someone into a millionaire. Why not you? Before you go, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and join our community of treasure hunters. We're here every week helping people just like you turn coins into cash and change into a future. You bring the curiosity, and I'll bring the knowledge. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where loose change could literally change your life. Now before you go and toss that penny into the tip jar or let it roll under your car seat forever, I need you to hit the brakes, because that little copper coin in your pocket, the 2020 D. Lincoln cent, might just be worth a jaw-dropping, wallet-fattening, life-altering $1.6 million. Yeah, you heard that right, a single penny minted in 2020 with a Denver Mint Mark D is making collectors sweat in a good way and turning everyday folks into millionaires. So put that cup of coffee down, step away from the vending machine, and check your change. This could be the most profitable 3 minutes of your life. Now I know what you're thinking: Ray, come on, it's just a penny, it can't be worth more than, well, a penny. But buddy, this is not your average penny, this is the golden goose disguised in copper, and today we're diving deep into what makes the 2020 D. Lincoln cent so valuable, how to tell if you've got one, and what to do if you're sitting on a potential fortune. Plus, I'm sharing a personal story of how one coin led me down a rabbit hole of numismatic madness. So let's get rolling and talk Lincoln. Let's go back just a bit. The Lincoln cent has been around since 1909. That's over a century of these little copper heroes passing hands from soda fountains to parking meters. The 2020 Lincoln penny carries on the tradition with Abraham Lincoln's famous profile on the front. Flip it over and you've got the Union Shield design, which replaced the Lincoln Memorial back in 2010. The D on this coin means it was minted in Denver, Colorado. But here's where it gets juicy: not every 2020 D penny is valuable. Most are worth 1 cent, but a rare few, and I mean rare as in needle in a haystack rare, have unique characteristics that skyrocket their value to $1.6 million. So what's the deal? What makes some of these 2020 D pennies so special? It comes down to mint errors and die varieties. Some of these pennies have dramatic die cracks, double dies, off-center strikes, or even wrong planchet errors. Imagine a penny struck on a dime blank, or one with Lincoln's face doubled like he's got a ghostly twin. These are the types of things collectors foam at the mouth over, and when a collector sees something rare, especially modern and well-preserved, they'll pull out the big bucks. That's how we got to the current market value of $1.6 million. Here's where you need to pay attention. Pull out a magnifying glass, or better yet, a coin loupe, and inspect the 2020 D penny under some decent lighting. Look at Lincoln's eye, his beard, or the date. If they appear slightly doubled, you might have a valuable variety. These are raised lines or blobs, usually found on the edges or near the lettering. They can add thousands to a coin's value. These are coins where the design isn't centered. The more off it is without losing the date, the more valuable it becomes. This is super rare. The coin is the wrong metal weight or even the wrong size. Take That bad boy to a coin shop. If you suspect this, let's talk cold hard cash. Several of these 2020 error pennies have sold at auctions for over $1,000,000, but one nearly flawless example with multiple errors and full red luster took the spotlight. It sold for a mind-blowing $1.6 million in a private sale between two major collectors. You know what's wild? That coin was found in a roll of uncirculated pennies someone got from their local bank. No joke, that could have been anyone. It could have been you. It could have been me. Speaking of me, let me tell you how I got into this madness. It all started when I found a weird penny while helping my nephew count change for his school fundraiser. It looked off slightly shiny, a bit odd in color. Turns out it was nothing special, but that moment lit a fire in me. Started researching, checking every coin I touched, and let me tell you, the thrill of the hunt is real. Every trip to the gas station became a potential treasure hunt. Every coin jar at grandma's house turned into a gold mine. Now I haven't found a $1 million penny yet, but I have found coins worth hundreds, and I'm not stopping. Neither should you. So let's say you strike gold. You find a weird 2020 penny and it looks promising. What do? Whatever you do, don't rub it, polish it, or dip it in vinegar. That can ruin its value. Send it to a reputable grading company like PCGS or Rank. They'll authenticate it and give it a grade that helps determine its market value. Consider your selling options. You can go to an auction house, contact high-end collectors, or listed on coin marketplaces like Heritage Auctions or Great Collections, and maybe treat yourself to something nice like a car or a house or a lifetime supply of tacos. Here's how to keep your eyes open and the odds in your favor. Go through them systematically. Vending machines are gold mines. People love to share what they've found. It's not perfect, but great for a quick scan. Build a little coin collecting corner in your home. Make it fun. Alright folks, if you've stuck around this long, you now know the secret. That penny in your pocket might just be your golden ticket. The 2020 Lincoln Cent isn't just another coin, it's $1 million surprise hiding in plain sight, and all it takes is a sharp eye, a little patience, and maybe a splash of luck. Let this be your reminder. Don't ignore your pennies. Don't scoff at spare change. You never know when your next coin could buy you a boat or a beach house, or at the very least, bragging rights for life. Now, if you enjoyed this video and you want to hear more about coins worth real money, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up, and drop a comment below if you've ever found a weird or valuable penny. We've got more tips, tricks, and coin hunting stories coming your way every single week. Hey folks, gather round, because today we're diving deep into a story that sounds like it's ripped straight from a millionaire's diary, except instead of stocks or real estate, the hero of this story is a penny. Yep, a good old 1-cent coin. But not just any penny. We're talking about the 1995 Lincoln 1-cent penny. And believe it or not, one of these bad boys is currently worth up to $1.7 million. You heard me right. A single cent turned into seven figures. Now, before you run to check the couch cushions or raid your grandpa's coin jar, let's break this down. Why is this coin so valuable? What makes it so rare? Could you actually have one hiding in your change? And yeah, I'll even tell you the story of the time I thought I found a rare penny and nearly passed out in a gas station parking lot. So grab your favorite drink, sit back, and buckle up, because we're about to turn spare change into serious change. Alright, let's lay down some history first. The 1995 Lincoln penny was minted in Denver. That D you see right under the ear? That's the Denver mint mark. Pretty normal stuff. Over 7 billion of these pennies were made. Billion, with a B. So you're probably thinking, how in the world can something that common be worth $1.7 million? And I get it. I'd be skeptical too. But here's the twist, it's all about the details. In the world of coin collecting, it's the tiny differences that can make a huge difference in value. Think of it like this. You can have two identical twins, right? Same haircut, same face, same everything. But one of them has a rare birthmark in the shape of Elvis Presley on their shoulder. That's the one that's getting all the attention. Same with coins, most 1995 pennies are just regular coins. But a tiny number, so rare we're talking maybe a handful, have special features, mint errors, or pristine condition grading that rocket their value through the roof. Let's talk about what collectors are actually looking for in this particular penny. There are a few main things that could make your 1995 penny skyrocket in value. Number 1, it has to be in mint state condition. That means no scratches, no dirt, no fingerprints, no signs of wear and tear. Like it just rolled out of the mint yesterday. And I mean that literally. And number 2, you've got minting errors. Now this is where things get spicy. Some 1995 pennies have what's called a double die. Basically, during production, the die, the tool that stamps the image onto the coin, got misaligned. That causes a doubling effect on the lettering. Especially in the words "in God we trust," liberty, or the date itself. This doubling is obvious to the naked eye if you know what to look for. It's like your penny is trying to whisper to you twice. And collectors absolutely love that. Then there's the off-center strikes, the broad strikes, or even die breaks. All minting quirks that turn an average penny into a jackpot. And finally, there's the grade. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale. MS-70 is basically perfection. And if you've got a 1995 D penny that's flawless, untouched, and includes an error, that's when we're talking about the $1 million territory. And now, let's zoom out for a second. You might be asking, why would anyone pay that kind of money for a penny? And to that I say, have you seen what people pay for Beanie Babies? But seriously, coin collecting, or numismatics, is a huge industry. Some folks are in it for the history. Some do it for fun. And some see it as an investment, like art or classic cars. It's supply and demand meets nostalgia and a sprinkle of obsessive perfectionism. And let me tell you, once a collector sets their eyes on completing a full collection, especially one that includes rare mint errors, oh buddy, they'll pay big to fill that missing slot. Alright, story time. So a couple years ago, I was at this rundown gas station somewhere between nowhere and nowhere else. I paid cash for a soda, don't judge, I was craving root beer, and the clerk handed me my change. As I'm walking out, I glanced down and boom, there it is. A 1995 D penny, and now by that point, I'd already heard stories about valuable coins. I'd been watching videos, reading articles, lurking in coin forums like a treasure-hungry pirate. So I flipped it over, squinted my eyes, and thought I saw doubling on the word liberty. Heart pounding, I walked right back into that gas station like I was Indiana Jones returning with the golden idol. I even asked the clerk if they had any more change. He looked at me like I was insane. I rushed home, cleaned off the coin carefully, which I later learned was a rookie mistake, pulled out my magnifying glass, and compared it to online photos. Turns out it wasn't the rare variety. But for a moment there, I swear I was rich. You never know. Your millionaire penny could be hiding in plain sight. Alright, let's get practical. If you want to start hunting for valuable coins, especially 1995 D pennies, here's your quick guide. Grab a magnifying glass or a coin loop. Your naked eye might miss the fine details. Sort your change. Look specifically for 1995 pennies with the D mint mark. If you think you have something special, do not clean the coin. I repeat, don't polish it, don't wipe it with toothpaste, don't scrub it with your shirt. That will lower the value faster than a bad haircut at prom. If it looks promising, get it graded. Send it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. A high grade could mean a big payday. Let's talk numbers. A regular circulated 1995 D penny? Probably worth 1 cent. Maybe a few bucks if it's in better condition, but a rare error penny, in mint state condition, graded MS67 or higher with a doubled die or some other minting anomaly? That's where the value shoots up. There are confirmed auction sales of error coins from this year fetching thousands, and even one known 1995 D error penny, graded to perfection, that changed hands for $1.7 million in a private sale. That's the magic number we're talking about. So here's the deal. That little copper coin jingling in your pocket could be your ticket to early retirement. Or at least a really nice vacation. Maybe it's not just spare change, it could be life-changing. The 1995 D Lincoln penny is a perfect example of why it pays to pay attention to your change. It's proof that sometimes, the overlooked things are the most valuable. All it takes is curiosity, a little patience, and a good magnifying glass. Now before you go digging through your car's cup holder, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Smash the like button too if you learned something today. I'm here every week dropping knowledge on coins worth money, smart strategies to turn your collection into a fortune, and real stories that prove the treasure hunt is alive and well. Tell your friends. Tell your grandma. Who knows? Maybe she's been sitting on a fortune all this time.